Meantime, officials say Kern County reserve funds have grown to more than $100 million throughout that 4-year fiscal emergency, announcing recently an end to that financial crisis. But since that announcement, several departments, including the Kern County Firefighters Association, raising concerns about those reserves.
23 ABC's Bayan Wang asked a county official about those concerns and joins us live now at the County Administrative Building with what he's learned. Bayan?
Yeah, Tim and Jess, there have been a lot of questions raised by various public safety and county departments about this fiscal budget. The county spokeswoman telling me that there have been huge misconceptions surrounding parts of it.
When the fiscal emergency was declared, there were $77 million in reserves. Currently, there is roughly $180 million in reserves.
The end of a fiscal emergency came at a shock to the Kern County Firefighters Association. Union President David Nelson telling 23 ABC last Tuesday,
I think it's difficult to say that you're able to amass money in your savings account when you are saying that you're hurting.
Megan Pearson, the county's director of communications, says that's not the case.
There's a huge miscommunication or misconception that we've been stockpiling money.
Pearson says that money is designated to various departments in Kern County, such as Kern Medical, Human Services, Public Safety, and Homelessness. But there is a certain criteria for when that money can be distributed.
So your reserves are not for day-to-day spending. Right? Much like you wouldn't use your savings account to pay for your day-to-day funds, your mortgage, your rent, whatever. Reserves are generally there in case of an emergency.
An emergency, Nelson says his department may be bridging, adding that his department hasn't added a fire station in over 20 years despite the significant population growth.
We're still providing the same level of fire service since, I believe, 1997 is when the last time was we added a station, and we're still serving the community with that same number of stations. So as our population becomes denser and expands, there's a lack of coverage in particular areas that haven't really been addressed in all of this. You know, we could realistically add 2, 3, 4 stations in certain areas.
Reserve funds, as Pearson said, are designated for emergencies, but in this case,
But they don't have the money for that, and he says that's an emergency. Do you agree?
So the fire fund is in a financial crisis, right? They have a structural deficit, and they have to close that deficit. And I would encourage you to talk to the chief.
The board did recently offer the sheriff's office a funding package that would make their agency the highest paid law enforcement agency in Kern County, but the terms of those negotiations are still being decided. Live in front of the county administrative office, Bayan Wang, 23 ABC, connecting you.
New details.